I want to welcome you to the show today. We are on so many different amazing platforms. There's LWR in London, there's TV and radio. We also have the DuPont Network where we're reaching over 4 million people. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, the right place. How can you be on the wrong place? I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is such a joy to have so many different amazing people on this show. From people who are going for their dreams, people who want to go for their dreams. I've even had people who have called me who are homeless that want to get off drugs. And hopefully, I hope and pray that they did. So in this show, we're just talking about going after your dreams, your goals, your visions, and putting them into fruition. Like me, sometimes I can be a little bit slow at things because I like to procrastinate. But my next guest has got it going on because his book is Unlock Your Potential. And I need, I need to unlock my potential and I need help doing it. So we have Matt Traverso, and I hope I said that right. Traverso. I don't know, but I was trying to give a little bit of an Italian accent to it. But welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, hi, Yaya. I'm very happy to be here. And actually, your pronunciation of my last name was perfect.
Ooh, yay! I am so excited. I finally got it
Absolutely right.
right. Well, thank you so much for joining us again. So I want to get into this. So before you could teach anybody how to unlock the potential, how did you unlock your potential?
Well, I would say that we already have it within us, the ability to unlock our potential. And we have been doing it, especially as kids. Children are great at utilizing their full potential, their true capabilities. Is that through life, what happens is that people tend to pick up a lot of what I would call contaminated thinking, those interferences that prevent us from utilizing our full potential, really reaching, achieving our real potential.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there are then, in the book, there are many tools, techniques, and strategies that help us do that. But the most powerful and the best one is just being yourself, being authentic, being real. And it's easy to say, not necessarily easy to do, but then again, it is easy actually. It's the
Yeah.
easiest thing, and yet we have so many barriers of stuff.
No, come on. Come on. I am telling you, barriers of stuff. Oh, I got stuff. I got stuff. Wow. So Matt, what inspired you to go after this book? What was it that you said, okay, I have got to write this book. Unlock your potential. Why?
That's a great question. I guess has to do with the fact that I love life.
Mm,
And I love the whole experience of living, and we are so grateful, so lucky to have been blessed with so much. And the biggest tragedy would be to use only a fraction of our potential.
yeah.
Now, are we ever going to really fully utilize our full potential scientifically? The answer is no. But
Right.
by approximation, at least, knowing in our heart that we've done our best to actually do that. At least we are at peace with ourselves. At
Right.
least we have no regrets. At least we can die with a smile on our face, knowing that we've done what we could. We gave
Yeah.
it our best shot. And as far as utilizing this gift of life, this miracle of all miracles, these incredible resources that we have. Once again, we don't want to concern ourselves as to whether or not we're going to really actually fully utilize our full. I was actually talking to one of my clients. He's a great tennis coach, and he was explaining to me that even when we are in the zone, in the what she said Mihaly used to call, actually termed the flow, the psychology of flow. Still, even when we are in the flow, in the zone, we still don't fully utilize 100% of our potential.
Wow.
So it's impossible to utilize, but at least to our heart, to simplify, we actually have this wonderful continuous dialogue, internal dialogue, conversation with our heart, our inner guidance, our true essence, our wisdom. At least with that part of ourselves, our true self, we want to be honest, sincere, and faithful, and tell ourselves the truth. Meaning, we want to confide with ourselves, be honest with ourselves, and therefore, when we say we're going to go all in, let's go all in really, and still without going crazy, because being crazy does not help. So there's a balance in everything. Sometimes you actually achieve more by, and always actually, even in tennis, playing tennis, if you actually go with maximum drive and tenacity, and just, it's like, the old mistake that is trying too hard. Trying too hard never helps.
No.
So the right balance, striking the right balance, is what allows us to really achieve our full potential, quote unquote.
I've always wanted to ask this. So many people write their books. They write their own books. They script it. They even edit their own books. That's a little bit hard. But how did writing this book, finishing this book, affect you in your business or even in your personal life? How did this work for you?
Well, thank you so much. That's a great question, actually. I really like the question. Well, I actually started writing this book. It sounds incredible. Many years ago, like in 2004,
Oh,
I started, right, 20 years ago, I started
oh my gosh,
writing
it's
a
20.
lot.
Wait, stop.
Yeah,
It's been 20 years.
it's been 20 years. Yes.
It's been 20 years. It goes
Yes.
by so fast.
Well, yeah, yes, time flies, really.
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
tell me
I'm
about it.
sorry.
It reminds me Napoleon Hill's
Mhm.
Think and Grow Rich, that took Napoleon Hill 25 years to write the book.
Oh my gosh.
I got good company, okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
uh, and so I started 20 years ago. And then over the last 3 years, I've been rewriting it, refining it, perfecting it, so that it flows, and it's just an irresistible experience, so easy to read, so much so that one reviewer said, yeah, it's powerful, it's great, but it's too easy to read. And
Yeah.
I'm going, what? I killed myself to reach this level of flawlessness and smoothness, something that deserves recognition, not
Yeah.
criticism. But hey, it's part of the
You can't
game.
do
It's
it.
part of the
You
process.
can't do it good enough for them. I mean, it's too easy. It's too hard. It's too complex. It's too simple. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. But yes. Yeah. Anyway, I want because I'll love a book that you can tell it is a distillation of love, hard work, commitment, and you can and you can tell by reading it. The reading process just flows,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and that's what I wanted to achieve, and I think I have achieved that result out of really obsession, a magnificent obsession, being like a maniac about it. And I actually, I actually have a picture with the 22 versions, printed versions of the book, because I would print it out and then read it on a hard copy and make notes of all the changes, the expressions, the words. Every word had to be perfect
Mm,
to make it as smooth, as easy to follow, easy to understand, easy to read as possible.
mm,
So first was the meaning, the
mhm,
strength of the message. I just put everything that impacted me the most, and what I found most useful and practical and effective and successful in helping people in my coaching practice.
mm.
So I just concert just concentrated and distilled the best of all that, and
Mhm.
out of it came unlock your potential.
Wow. Wow. You said that you have a coaching practice. So that means that, okay, did you put any lessons in this book?
I
It
did.
you did.
Yes,
So
yes. Case
explain to
study.
me how that works. How does that work in the book? Is it because you just told me simple, easy, but you know when it comes to lessons, those are like, to me, those are ways of learning what you're actually trying to get across in the book.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I said easy to read, not
Mhm.
easy to write. Not easy to write. I gave, like Winston Churchill would say, I gave blood, tears, and sweat, literally, to write that. I really poured my heart and soul.
Mm,
Absolutely.
I gotcha.
And yes, yeah, you are the question. Okay, I have some case studies just
Mm,
to make the point, to back up some of the principles, strategies,
mhm.
tools, techniques that I'm describing in the book, and then I just make it real with a real example, like what I've done with Sandra, what I've done with Michael, what I've done with Paul, with some of the people that I mentioned, some of my clients in the book. And then lots of metaphors, wonderful stories, powerful narratives. Some there are some some well-known stories like the four minute mile by Bannister, but
Mm,
rewritten to emphasize the some processes, like after he did it, it made it possible for everybody else. And so
ooh,
wow, the floodgate just opened, and within a month, John Landy of Australia smashed his record, and more people kept smashing John's record until now the record is an insane 3 minutes and 43 seconds,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
time within which a human smash runs and completes a mile. But
Right.
some stories, some examples like those, and my own reflections and my own thoughts, and especially to do with mastering emotions, which are just shadows of our thoughts, even though we don't really realize that. So I actually took a lot of time to make sure the reader gets it, that our emotions are the result of our thinking moment to moment.
Hmm.
And I made all sorts of examples. And so, like, the hot stove example, and the rattlesnake example, and so many practical examples. Like, if I think I'm in danger, I freak out.
Hmm.
Anybody would,
Oh yeah.
regardless of whether or not we are actually in danger. But if we think we are, we start creating instantly, like our heart beats faster, cortisol surges, our hands sweat,
Yeah.
maybe the stomach just contracts. This maybe you might have completely different reactions, but one thing is certain: that experience that you're having at the thought of being in danger would happen regardless whether or not you were actually in danger. So just to show how what we think unconsciously mostly, not just unconsciously, of course, our thinking processes are driving our feelings, our emotions.
Yeah.
And yes, so I think by knowing that it's just a shadow of our thought, once we realize that these are just thoughts, we don't have to fear them. We don't not even actually, whatever emotion we had just goes away. Like, if I think that piece of rope is a rattlesnake, I freak out. Once I actually see that it's not a rattlesnake, but it's just a
Right.
piece of rope, the fear just vanishes instantly.
Yeah.
And how often do we actually confuse the ropes with some snakes and freak
Oh
out all
yeah.
the time?
Come on. Come on. I hear in your voice, and there's so many different people out there that says, where are the mentors? Where did they go? Where can I sit down? I remember being able to sit at my grandmother's feet and my great grandmother's feet and the mentors in the neighborhood and get the pointers as a kid. And now I don't see that anymore. I don't see the mentors. Did you have a mentor? And in this book, are you mentoring people as well?
Well, yeah, sure, yes. It's a coaching book and a mentoring book,
Mm.
and yes, and I've had many mentors and coaches in my life, and they are, most of them, they are included in the book in the acknowledgments. People like Steve Chandler, Tony Robbins, Dan Sullivan, Jim
Right.
Rohn.
But
Uh,
who's your favorite? Like, which one is like, this is my mentor? I mean, all the other ones are great, but this is my mentor. Which one can you say? Because I mean, that really does make an example for the direction that you have taken in your book and also in your life.
uh-huh. Well, right. Well, it's well, it's not just one. Let's say that my original mentor slash coach was the famous Tony Robbins,
Okay.
and I also ended up working with Tony Robbins for many years around the world,
Mm-hmm.
including over 6 months at his private resort in
Wow.
the Fijian Islands.
And no one invited me.
And no one invited me.
No.
Oh gosh.
That must have been amazing. Tell me about that. How did that affect your life?
Immensely, because it was an extraordinarily wonderful experience on so many levels. In terms of the commitment, was huge, and having an incredible example, Tony Robbins, that he's consistently making huge commitments in his life to
Mm-hmm.
his business. So it was a great role model at that stage in my life. And of course, learning at high speed when you are surrounded with incredible coaches and trainers,
Mm-hmm.
and you are there to co facilitate, co lead a new series of life mastery.
Mm.
So I was the on-site coach.
Mm.
So I really had to really learn very fast. And I did. But when you're having a blast, when you're having fun, it's enjoyable and you learn so much, and you are in a completely different environment, totally outside your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
You grow like crazy.
Yeah.
So it was a wonderful experience. And then
That
when I came back, I started coaching achievers, CEOs, leaders, very comfortable at doing that.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. What? Okay, so what do you want people to take away with this book? What is the takeaway? What do you want them to learn?
Right, right, right. Ultimately, to be themselves, their true self. In fact, the last line of the book is live your dreams and let each day be a reflection of your truest, most authentic self. At the same time, that doesn't exclude, I don't know if working on yourself is the right expression, but let's go with it for
Mhm.
simplicity, also because it's an expression that it's being used and people can relate to it,
Yeah.
even though you are already perfect, your essence. But still, it sounds like a contradiction working on yourself if you're already phenomenal. You are, but guess what? Let's say that, and also, it's great because I actually have these great lines that, I worked so hard to come up with, and they are original, my own lines. The first line, which is the dedication, the first and the last. I already told you the last, let each day be a reflection of your truest, most authentic self.
Mhm.
And the first line says it all. It's a dedication to all who want to get more out of their lives while becoming more of themselves.
Mm.
I like that. Okay, what does it mean?
Mm.
While becoming more of themselves, meaning more of who already you are, of who you are already.
Yeah.
Already you have your potential. You're not going to increase it, but you can tap more out of it. Yes,
Mm. Mm.
it's like
Mm.
you're a diamond, but you don't know it yet.
Well, it takes time though. I mean, literally it takes time, and your book is there to help people do that, which I love. I absolutely love. Unlock your potential, own your power, master your emotions, and live your best life today. I am going to actually ask you, because this is something I ask everybody at the end of the show. What is your advice? Like, say that you wanted to give advice to someone, what would be the advice that you would give if a person was stuck in a situation and they just couldn't see any way out? How can they see their way out of that?
Well, I would, yeah. Well, two things come to mind, and the very first is often we are so focused on ourselves, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
And very often, it sounds bad to say, like, to refer to, people, but let's say the people who have tendencies towards depression, for example,
Mm.
but also anger or resentment, they tend to spend a lot of time, huge amounts of time, thinking about themselves.
Mm.
That's not helpful.
Right.
What we want to do, and then when we talk to people, typically those people tend to just have a bad attitude, and they want to be understood.
Mm.
So this is a huge human need to be understood.
Mm.
If we actually start the process ourselves, by really with the intent of understanding people, this is already a huge gift we give to people, and really empathizing with them, understanding, appreciating, without necessarily agreeing, of course. That's got nothing to do, but just
Mm.
really taking the time to support people by having them feel heard, listened to, understood, heard into existence
Yeah.
by really listening to them, it makes us really feel incredible because people loves us, trusts us, likes us, appreciates us, they open up to us. And that's a beautiful way and a real, I think, the probably the best way, especially without probably, if it's done genuinely, sincerely, the best way to create, to bond and create connection and create trust with people. And that's what allows anyone to just feel so good by helping others. I think
Wow.
it was Dean Ornish. He's a medical doctor. He said an interesting thing. He says the most selfish thing you can do is to really sincerely help people, take care of people, supporting people. I'm paraphrasing, but that's the essence,
Hmm.
because it makes you feel so good and
Yeah.
it comes back to you so much.
Yes.
So appreciating people's space, their life, their experience, what they're going through is such a gift when we are present for them, holding space for them. I'm
Hmm.
not I'm not saying that they need to become a coach, even though these days coaching is exploding. Absolutely,
Yeah.
everybody wants to become a coach, and it's a good thing, by the way, yeah, because it just helps everybody, the whole world, be more supportive of our social circle,
Yeah.
and all the people we come across. So it's a great, not, without necessarily becoming a professional coach, but it helps having better quality relationships. And the other thing is just realizing how lucky you are, how fortunate you are for, like, for example, for being born in a great country, whether it's the Western world and many other countries,
Yeah.
Australia, many parts of Asia. So it's a huge. You won the lottery, all right? Okay, so that's already huge.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there's so much we can be grateful. And of course, we all heard scientifically that feeling, being grateful, is as therapeutic as love. And according to some research studies, even more therapeutic in terms of really making a difference in the quality of your life, of the
Hmm.
experience of life. So but then again, just ask yourself, what the heck do you want? What do you really want? This is
Yeah.
like the question. Like, what do you want? These days you're spoiled for choice. You got more options than you know what to do with.
Yeah.
There's no way you cannot not do something that you love. I mean,
Exactly.
there are too many options and possibilities for
Oh yeah.
anybody to be spending their existence doing something they are not passionate about, they don't love. That doesn't help anybody. And
No.
and also I think the great misunderstanding, or the great confusion that's still very spread
Hmm.
and rampant everywhere, is the idea that money will make you happy.
No.
I'm not saying that it's, if you're motivated by money, great, go for it. But if that's not a good motivation, and it's not for many people. For some it is. It's not for me, but for some it is. All right, that's all right. You don't have to apologize at all. Go at it, have a great time, and you will find yourself that by having a great time making billions, you will help a ton of people, like Elon Musk. God bless him, that is actually changing the world in wonderful ways. So, but he's actually changing the world in wonderful ways. I mean, he's making everything better. He's actually helping the quality of life for humanity. So you have to actually add value. That's the bottom line.
Wow.
But I would say that not, but that I'm negating what I said. So, and let's say, let's be clear, and because what I said, I absolutely stand by it, and 100%, it's great. And at the same time, it's not what makes people happy in the long term. Maybe you won the lottery, you're happy, but for how long?
Yeah. Yeah, not for very long, because
Not for
then
very
your
long.
problems still your problems, even though they're not money issues, the other issues are still there. So if you're not happy in life, not to say that money is gonna just buy you happiness because it doesn't,
It
but
doesn't.
I
Yeah.
mean, your book can unlock the potential for happiness, for your success, for your emotions, for your power, for your life today. I absolutely love that. I think that's wonderful.
Thanks so much. I
Thank
love that.
you. I want to thank you so much for being on the show, Matt. I appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and is there anything that we haven't said today that you would like to tell your listeners?
Really, not really. I think we covered the main things, and thanks for the question, thoughtful questions,
No problem.
original that I don't get asked often. So awesome.
Awesome. Awesome. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to have that information about Matt's book on the description or in the description wherever you may be watching. And if you are watching in a place that you don't know where the description is, please go ahead and go to our YouTube channel where we're going to have the video and that description for you. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and don't forget that you can unlock, and I'm going to put this book up because I like this: unlock your potential, own your power, master your emotions, and live your best life today. And Matt, thank you so much for being on the show. I truly, truly appreciate it again. And we'll see you next time for the next book. Hopefully, you don't wait for 25 years because I don't know if I'm going to be here. But thank you.
Thank you. It was great. Thanks, Yaya.
All right, thanks. And next time, guys, don't forget to dare to be different.